All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk about why consistency is more important than motivation. And the reason being is once you start on this journey, once you start taking better care of yourself, once you start eating right, once you start lining up your nutrition with your goals, once you start getting in the gym, working out, lifting heavy, doing progressive overload, getting your cardio in, getting your steps in the beginning, you're going to have a lot of motivation because before you come from a sedentary lifestyle where you're gooning all day, you're doing absolutely nothing for yourself. You feel horrible. You have no energy. You don't want to do anything. You're forcing yourself to do everything. Your clothes don't fit right. Your stomach is sticking out further than than a pregnant woman's. And in the beginning, when you start doing this and you get those massive results that you do in the beginning, because in the beginning, when you start doing this, you're going to lose a lot of weight fast. You're going to go from a super high body fat percentage to a lower body percentage fast because you're going to lose a lot of water. You're going to lose a lot of glycogen. You're going to lose some fat. So you may lose 20, 25 pounds in a month if you're very, very fat like I was. Like if you're like 240 and you're 5'9" and your body fat percentage is between 35% and 40%, you're going to lose a lot of weight fast. And that's going to be very motivating for you. You're going to start looking better. You're going to start wearing smaller clothes. You're going to have to get a new wardrobe. Your shirts are going to fit you better. Your arms are going to look better. Your stomach's going to start getting flatter. But the thing about it is this. The reason why the motivation wanes is because the lower body fat percentage that you get and the leaner that you get, the results come way slower than they did in the beginning. So if your motivation is results, it's not going to last because you're going to get to a point to where you get a plateau, your weight stalls, your fat loss stalls, no matter what kind of deficit you're in, the scale's not going to move. You're going to get to a point in the gym where you're going to be exhausted, where you're not getting stronger. You're going to plateau with your strength. You're going to plateau with your reps. You're going to plateau with everything. And that is when the consistency part kicks in, because what separates the people that's going to get to their goals and the people that are never going to reach their goals and just quit is that when the motivation goes away, those people stay consistent. What I mean by that is, even though you're not feeling like doing something, you're still doing it anyway. Because men don't base what they do off of the way they feel. Men do what they do because that's what they do. Women base things off of the way that they feel. That's why they're so up and down and they go through so many different phases, and they can jump from this person to that person and do this one day, feel this one day, be in love with you one day, not be in love with you the next day. Is because they're live their life based off of their feelings. But as a man, you can't live your life based off of your feelings. You have to live your life based off of your commitments, based off of your discipline. And your commitments, your consistency, and your discipline is what you're going to get to reach your ultimate goal. So that's why they stress so hard. And I also stress so hard that when you start this, that you have to change your identity first before you do anything else. What do I mean by that? If you're super fat, if you're unmotivated, if you're gooning all day, if you're just eating goofy crap, horrible food, processed foods, takeout foods, DoorDash and all that, you have to start that day when you make your mind up that you identify as the person that you're going to be and want to be, and live like that from that day forward. Am I saying that you're going to be perfect? No. Am I saying that you're going to not make mistakes? No. But the thing about it is if you make a mistake, if you have a bad day, if you mess up on your diet, if you skip a gym day, if something like that happens, you get an injury or whatever, you just dust yourself off, get up, and get back to doing it the next day. You don't take 2 days off. You don't take 3 days off. Because if you're anything like me, you know for yourself, once you take more than 3, 4, 5 days a week off of the gym, you're not going back. Once you eat bad stuff for 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row, you're not going back to eating healthy again. So the consistency part is going to be the key of it. And also not putting a time lock on your results. Not saying, well, if I don't reach the results I want by this, then I'm not going to do it anymore. Because you have to realize if you got fat like I got fat, it took 10, 12 years for me to get as fat as I got. You can't expect to get the body that you want in 10 to 12 months. It's not going to happen. You could get to the body fat percentage that you want to get to in that amount of time, but you're not going to get the body composition you want in that amount of time. Because once you lose fat, you're going to realize you seriously overestimate the amount of muscle that you have in your body. And then when you start getting fat loss and your fat starts shredding off of you and you're getting to the low to mid teens, you're going to see where all your weaknesses are at. Like with me, my right shoulder and my delt is capped and has more separation than my left one does. My left bicep is bigger than my right bicep. My left lat is smaller than my right lat. My right lat is smaller than my left chest. And it's going to become even more pronounced the leaner I get. So what you have to do is you have to adjust your routines to adjust to the results that you want to get. So what I do is I do a little bit of extra work on the side that's not capped off as much. I do a little bit of more lat pulls on the side that's not defined as much. I do a little bit more chest work on the side of my chest that needs more work. And I do a little bit more bicep work on the side that needs more work, along with the regular routines that I do. Also, steps are very important. You need to get at least 10,000 steps a day. I get between 20 and 25. The reason why I do that, plus the treadmill 4 or 5 days a week, between 45 minutes to an hour at 11.5, at 3.2, between 3.5 is one thing about it is if you don't move much, you can't eat much. And while you're in a cut and you're doing this, you want to be able to eat as much food as you possibly can. And when you raise your activity level, your caloric intake to lose weight also raises as well. So what you do is you move more and you can eat more and you'll lose less muscle in the process. So like I said with this, in life, in relationships, in business, in finance, in physical fitness, consistency is always going to trump motivation, because just like in any other arena, you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have days when you don't feel like doing it. You're going to have days when you feel like doing it 2, 3 times a day. You can't base it off of that. You have to base it on every day you wake up, you ask yourself, how is what I'm doing aligning with the goals and the person that I want to be? And that's what consistency means. It means continually doing the same things to get you where you want to be in spite of how you feel.